Good morning. It's May 11th, Saturday. Ongoing saga of trying to enjoy our trip to Spain. The latest challenge is trying to get the reserved car over here at Avis. And just like in any airport or train station in America, you have a long wait because of the line. We've been in line for about 20 minutes now. We'll see what the day brings. We'll be in Toledo maybe about noon when we had planned to be there at 9 or 10. I guess that's life in Spain, life on vacation. There we go. We ended up renting at 60, where we were offered a better deal with faster service to boot. If you're just joining us, this is the 6th video of our Spain vacation series. With only 2 more days of touring the country left, we chose this time around to visit Toledo, a city just a half-hour drive from Madrid. My sister was responsible for parking the car, so she dropped us off at this plaza close to the first item on our list, the Monasterio de San Juan de los Reyes, while she headed back down to park the car. And wouldn't you know it, we became a part of a wedding celebration happening inside the church. After admiring the amazing interiors of that cathedral, we were once again off to do a walking tour of the city, hoping to hit some tourist spots along the way. If you've watched our previous videos, you'll know that walking around with our octogenarian parents was always going to be a challenge, despite the smooth sidewalks. The next stop on our tour was the Sinagoga de Santa Maria la Blanca, or the Synagogue of St. Mary the White, supposedly the oldest synagogue building in Europe still standing. It was converted into a Catholic church in the early 15th century, but just like the Mosque Cathedral in Cordoba, you can see the Moorish style in its interior design. And although it was constructed as a synagogue, its hippo-style room and the lack of a women's gallery make it closer in character to a mosque. The swords forged in Toledo, Spain were once considered the finest in the world. Blacksmiths here have been making fine steel weapons by hand since the 5th century BC, furnishing armies throughout history. But the art of sword making is dying here, and the city's forges are in danger of shuttering for good. This is one of the few stores that sells such swords. The last place we visited was the Synagogue of El Tránsito, a historic synagogue, church, and museum. The synagogue was converted into a church after the expulsion of the Jews from Spain in 1492 and became a museum in 1910, formerly known today as the Sephardic Museum. Toledo was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986. It is the capital of the province of the same name. Known as the City of Three Cultures, it has influences from Christians, Muslims, and Jews. We ended our visit with a quick drive around to see the other structures we couldn't get to on foot or wheelchair, at least not in the time we gave ourselves. Still, it was an amazing experience to be able to visit such a city and gain some insight on such a historic location. A little over a half hour later, we were back in Madrid, driving through its streets on our way to yet another place that serves some really good food. None of us had had lunch anyway, and after all, it was well past 3 p.m. We ended up in the Chueca neighborhood, in a popular mercado called San Anton. At €12, everything fried. So we're basically looking at a food court that is more popular among the locals. After lunch, it was time to take to the streets again to find ourselves some coffee and dessert. This was a good excuse to walk around with the crowds along some of the busier walking corridors on our way to another food hall. Walking through the streets with our wheelchairs was an experience in itself. Via the Gran Via, we were headed to El Corte Inglés on Callao Plaza, to a place on the 9th floor overlooking the world-famous street called the Gourmet Experience. So walking this street is actually an experience in itself. The crowds, like when we were in Macau. When we were in Macau, there was like big crowds and we were just flowing with the crowds, going towards the monument. So everyone's just walking one way. Oh, nangyari? Gourmet Experience. Dessert at the Gourmet Experience. After coffee and dessert, the wife and I decided to go explore on our own. So we headed back down to the street to try to check off some of the items on our tour list. In the Gran Via. So we're walking down the Gran Via and there seems to be like some sort of a thing going on with the police blocking off the whole road, and there seems to be a lot of people there. So that's where we're headed actually. So we're gonna see what's going on. The march ended at Plaza España, which was conveniently on the way to the park that was our destination for sunset. The festival was winding down, but as you can imagine, the aroma of the jolly weed wafted through the air continuously. Okay, we got a view of the major monuments over there and the city. Everybody here waiting for the sunset. So it's dusk and we are at the Temple of Tupod. This is when the lights come on. So this is where everybody starts taking photos. You have to be on the side so you can capture the structures there in the back. On our way back after that amazing sunset, we passed by the Palacio Real, or the Royal Palace of Madrid, bustling with activity, even past 9 p.m. And street performers were around to keep everyone entertained and also to earn a living. And that was the end of our Saturday touring activities. So we'll see you in the next video for the conclusion of our Spain vacation.